Oh boy, are you ready for this? Because this is one big video because there's so many hidden secrets within the Starfield gameplay that we absolutely need to address. We're going to be diving into all of it, from the things you did not see hidden away in the combat gameplay sequence. We're also going to be talking about, yes, space combat, a lot going on here with the UI, some secrets and things that you are not seeing that we're going to be revealing today, plus the character creation tools. Yes, we're going to talk about the backgrounds and traits and how they're going to be influencing your experience and also cutting you off from certain things. So be aware of that as well. And then we're going to be talking about how big Starfield actually is. Should you be concerned about the size of this game and the 1,000 planets? Are they going to all be barren? We're going to dive into that in just a moment as well. And we're going to talk a little bit more about third-person perspective as well, and a lot of the customization options on offer here. So let's do this. All right, so here we go. We are landing into New Atlantis. This looks absolutely beautiful. By the way, on this planet, you can actually explore the full planet if you did not know that. Not just New Atlantis. You can go beyond it, which is really, really cool. But do you remember this one? This is the actual concept art for New Atlantis, and it has changed quite a bit, it seems, which is really, really cool. Now, also, it looks like you can use your watch to activate certain entry points with the constellation, which is going to be the group that you're going to be actually joining up with so that you can actually explore the universe and space, which is really cool. Now, some of these shots are beautiful. And yes, we are all on the hunt for answers. Is there life out there? And one thing that we're seeking in Starfield are these very rare artifacts. It's like this constellation group is on a mission to seek it. I find it interesting how they showed while they were talking about this artifact that we're trying to piece together in Starfield. At the end of them describing this, they go ahead and show, guess what? Some warping type technology. At least in my mind, that looks like warping technology right there. And if we take a look at some of the shots from screenshots and things that have been recently shared by Bethesda, I don't know, perhaps we're going to be unlocking some sort of new warp system for our spaceships or something like that when we collect these artifacts. Maybe it will lead us somewhere, you know. I am just speculating, of course, but very exciting stuff for sure. But let me tell you what, these NPCs look amazing. The facial technology here has been upgraded significantly since previous Bethesda entries, and I have been so impressed. Now, of course, we do have what is called the Paradiso, I believe it is, which is a hotel. Let's take a look at that one more time. That looks really, really freaking cool, as you can see. We also have different hotels on offer. So it seems like that could be a theme where you can actually rent a room or something like that in Neon City. As you can see right here, there's the hotel to the left. That one actually is called the Fall, I think it is, hotel or something like that. But yeah, there's a green light above the door, which is indicating that this is an entry point that you can actually go into, which is cool. But right here, this is, for me, one of the coolest shots in all of the trailer. I know it seems like it's a simple shot, but we're seeing our first look at Neon City, which is going to be basically a fishing port type city. Here is where they are actually fishing for these psychedelic type fish that give you, I guess, a high, and they're very sought after. It's basically the Amsterdam of the universe, which I thought was absolutely hilarious and cool. All right, so we have medical station right here to the right. That is something that I've seen prevalent in a lot of the city shots as well. And then this, I believe, is Aquila, because we're going to actually see the sign here in just a moment. We have a lot of different statues here. This looks like a very prestigious area, as you can see. So I just want to learn so much more about this. And we have an artifact right here. Perhaps we can negotiate for it. We might have to do a job for this guy or a couple jobs, because these artifacts seem to be very much sought after for sure. Then we have the spaceport terminal in Neon City, as you can see, another Reliant medical area. Again, it looks like it's an entry point, but this shot right here, what caught my attention most were the textures. Look at the carpet textures right here under the desk. It looks great with the lighting and everything like that. All right, now if we keep going here, it looks like we have some sort of mech unit prepping up here to do some combat, because one theme in the trailer were pirates. The Crimson Fleet is one of the biggest threats, and yes, there is a coalition force that we're seeing right here. They are bound, determined to drive out the Crimson Fleet with all of their might, and you can join up with them. And it's interesting because it looks like there's certain weapons that you can gain access to based on perhaps the factions you work with. And this game has teased a lot of elements in it, especially through the perk system, where you are cut off from certain things and then you gain certain things by being a part of certain factions, religious groups, and things like that. But check it out. This is Aquila City. We've actually seen this before through concept art. There is the zoom in shot right there, and take a look at the concept arts right here. And now, of course, we get to see it in the full reality, running off the creation engine. I believe it's 2.0, the upgraded version of that creation engine. And it looks really, really good. I cannot wait to explore it. Now, these people here are more about being very independent and striving for peace. And they are also going after the pirates, which we are seeing right now, the Crimson Fleet. And yeah, I don't know. It's tempting just to join them because they look like such badasses, I'm going to say. So I don't know. I might just join the Crimson Fleet and try to cause as much chaos as we are seeing right here as possible. What? I just think they look like a fun group. I'm just telling you. Now this right here, it looks like there's almost a different gravity situation going on here. As you can see, some zero gravity combat is in Starfield, and that looks really, really cool. And we're seeing some creatures. So it's not just going to be where you're facing off against the Crimson Fleet, of course. You're going to be facing off against aliens. You might find some nice aliens. Who knows during your adventure. But it also seems like some of these factions are really trying to take advantage of certain planets. So it's going to be up to you whether or not you want that to happen, or if you want to stop that. But back to some of these shots, I really wanted to focus in on some of these alien life forms here. They look amazing. Let me tell you what, the animations alone look crazy good. And then we have this creepy crawler right here. Dude, there's some horror elements. And again, the facial technology is on point. Now, this is interesting. It looks like they're trying to gain access to a very critical area. It might be a really core mission to Starfield, and mining is going to be another element of this game that you can undertake. As you can see, it looks like there's mining suits as well, with some heavy gear that you can actually obtain, perhaps providing with more oxygen resistance to certain areas that you can explore. Now, this looks like a museum to me, so I'm not too sure what's going on here exactly, but it looks like some sort of satellite. And again, the creatures are absolutely majestic looking, and we aren't being very threatening to this creature at all. It just seems like it's having a defensive posture. Doesn't look like it's going to attack outright, just getting a little bit aggressive. So it seems like some of these creatures are going to be a bit more peaceful. And again, some more teases to this artifact, to something going on, trying to find out more knowledge, of course. And here is one of the most interesting shots of the trailer. I don't know, this looks like some sort of major artifact that is floating around, perhaps teasing alien life if we touch that artifact. So first of all, I absolutely love this shot as we are landing in here on one of the many moons that are fully explorable in Starfield. But there's action to be had, as you're going to be seeing in just a moment, plus a lot of hidden secrets that you're going to be seeing here as well. Of course, we have our buddy with us, Vasco. Now, if you did not know, he looks like he is going to be customizable, as we have seen through the concept arts. We have yet to find out exactly what his utilities can actually do, but it seems like you can make him as peaceful as you want or as mean as you want as well. Now, as we scan this plant right here, some really cool details do pop up. As we zoom in right here, we get more details right here about exactly what is around us, the resources available, fauna, flora, and also our scan range, what is going to be within the range of this scanner, which might be upgradable as well. Plus, you may notice that there's also a photo mode in this game, and if we press X on our controller, we can, I believe, find where the outpost is from anywhere on this planet, so we don't get lost. And then also there is a guide we can actually implement as well. But let's keep going, shall we? So yeah, you can scan planets for valuable or invaluable resources because you never know what you're going to find here. And some of these planets are going to be resource intensive over, seeing life forms and that sort of thing. But we're seeing some critters crawling around here, and it was really cool to see this because yes, there is going to be alien life, and it looks like some of these life forms aren't going to attack you right out of the gates. They're going to be like real animals, I suppose, in the fact that they are going to be more defensive. Some may actually attack you right from the get-go from seeing you, but these are traveling in a herd. You notice right here they stick together. It does not seem like they're lone wolves whatsoever at all. But yeah, let's keep going as we continue to explore, trying to search out those resources. And we use our laser weapon here, or mining weapon, I should say. But as we do this, we notice that we get more details in the lower left corner about the moon that we are on. The temperature, gravity, and that sort of thing is going to be extremely important to pay attention to as we explore. It looks like different planets are going to have different types of temperatures, gravity. So survival is going to be an interesting aspect to Starfield for sure. So yeah, those resources that we have collected, they're going to be extremely important because you can, of course, make spaceships, upgrade weapons, make bases, all sorts of stuff, and you're going to want to use those resources. And here we are. We have discovered the Pirates of the Universe, also known as the Crimson Fleet. Now, this is a ghost, and this ship has landed in. You'll notice that its dock bay or cargo bay is open, which is very, very interesting. I'm going to rewind this a little bit for you all because I did want to showcase something else that's really noteworthy here, and that is the quick access menu. It kind of looks familiar, reminds me of Fallout games, which, hey, that's really cool to see. I hope it's really intuitive on consoles. It's going to be the most important thing. But we do have 4 different weapons here, as well as a mining weapon, which might be usable in combat. But look at this. As we pull out our, I guess you would say, SMG or, machine gun type weapon, we have 47 rounds to the lower left, but it's cool because it actually shows up on your weapon as well. As we reload, check this out. The magazine now tells us, guess what? 50 rounds. We are fully loaded, ready to rock and roll. I love that little detail about this game, and I think it's really, really cool. Now, let's head inside, shall we? Because you're going to see something really cool when we actually get into combat that many of you have actually missed out on in, perhaps watching this for the first time. But check this out right here. As this guy lunges towards us, we are presented with this option for pickpocketing him. But if we keep going, we can also transfer something over to his body. Let's zoom in here. So this indicates to me that perhaps we can sabotage dead bodies in the future for Starfield. We'll have to see if that pans out to be true. But yeah, you can pickpocket people, take things from them, and perhaps even sabotage their bodies if you are clever enough. Maybe that'll be an actual skill we can actually look into as well. All right, so the combat looks very fast-paced to me, and there's some sliding around. It looks a lot more smoother than previous Bethesda games, which I am loving the fast-paced intensity of this. And it looks a lot more responsive as well. So I think that is a huge bonus here. Now, as we can see here, we have a weapon crate right here, and we can unlock that. There's going to be a novice level set to this crate, and then yes, it's going to be some sort of lock-picking mechanic. The lockpicks are actually called digipicks in the Starfield universe, and it looks pretty self-explanatory. Now, this is just the novice example, and we only have 15 digipicks. It seems like you could break those as well, but we have a weapon hidden within. We grab the weapon. As you can see, we're going to start using it right now. This thing looks really cool. Actually reminds me of the energy weapons from Fallout 4. So it got me wondering, by the way, if this Starfield might be set in the same universe as Fallout. You never know if that could be possible. But yes, I got to back this up a little bit more because there is something really important that we kind of missed out on right here. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but this is by far, in my opinion, one of the bigger teases from Starfield. And it's right after we open up the weapon crate. There's something on the wall. You can probably see it right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and pop that up right here. Check it out. It says experimental analysis, and there's some sort of clone that they are apparently working on here. So it seems like this is a lab that is experimenting on life forms on this moon. Perhaps it's illegal activity. So maybe you might frown upon this, or maybe you can actually get involved with this. Who knows? It could be possible. But after you grab this weapon, it's very much, in my opinion, blatantly teased to the players. I'm wondering what type of perhaps plot line or plot tool they have behind maybe some experiments that go on by maybe the Crimson Fleet or other scientists out in the universe. So we'll have to find out. But pay attention to the lower right corner of the screen as we are checking out this gameplay, because something is going to be added to the UI here in just a moment. Check it out right here. We have a boost bar that has appeared, and yes, we go into third person perspective, and yes, check it out. Here is the boost bar zoomed in. Very cool stuff right there. And I'm assuming that this could be upgraded. There's some interesting perks, by the way, that we're going to be diving into in this video, where the boost bar, if you're using this, your health and endurance actually gets enhanced, but you take a hit in other ways. So I'm curious to see what type of gameplay styles we can actually come up with when it comes to jetpacking around and activating certain perks because of this. So I think that is really, really cool. All right, so here it is. A lot of people were dying to see this, and yes, manual spaceflight, space combat is in Starfield. But we got to pause it right here because check this out. The lower left UI is telling us a lot of different things right here. So first and foremost, the most part of this UI element shows that we have 0 out of 10 bars filled up. They have been spread out between different sectors of your spaceship, which is going to include energy, shield, gravity, missiles, life support, that sort of thing. So it's interesting how you can actually divert energy to those sectors, and I'm curious to see how that's going to actually affect your ship, especially in combat, because you may want to go all in on the attack, or maybe you want to make your spaceship more like a tank during combat. You can invest more into shields, which, by the way, if we go back to first person here in just a moment, we go to the lower right UI element and we have this squiggly line around the spaceship. That is going to represent, of course, our shield, which has taken a hit. We're down to 86 out of 100 for our shield. And guess what? The hull is left untouched. The hull is definitely going to be the health of the spaceship, of course, but we want to keep those shields above 0 for as long as possible. And I'm curious again to see if you can continue to divert power and energy from other elements of your ship into shields. If you're getting desperate, that might actually be an option for you. So that's actually something cool you can do, it seems, in space combat. But yeah, we're getting a good perspective here between first person and third person. To me, it looks like first person is going to be the way to go when you're actually in combat. And then third person, as you can see, is going to be great for exploring. But we're seeing a lot of different variety with ships. We're seeing smaller ships, big ships, cargo ships, perhaps bounty hunting capable ships, ships that are leaning more towards combat, a lot of different long hauler ships. But we have got to go back to that one shot that we just saw a moment ago, because there is a really cool thing happening right here. Yes, it looks like you could dock with other ships and perhaps explore other ships while you're docked. I thought this was so freaking cool for sure. And it looks like there's like ways that you can quickly board, or maybe you can actually walk right in there if you want to manually walk yourself into another ship. So to me, that was very, very cool to see. I don't know if you can have a companion join you with their own ship. That's what I'm wondering. Again, only time will tell. But yeah, companions are going to be a big part of Starfield for sure. And yes, we are going absolutely in depth with character creation. So let's start here. As you can see, a lot of appearance options available for you. The biometric ID, if you're wondering what that is, it's basically a randomizer. So if you want to get into the game quickly, you do have that option, but you can also fine tune your body here between muscular, thin, heavy. You can choose a body type, a walk style, as you can see, and skin tones. Now you're probably wondering, hey, Robbie, is this going to be primarily a first-person or third-person game? Well, Todd Howard has confirmed the best way to play the game is from first-person, but from what I have seen from third-person, it looks really impressive. So a lot of reasons to go in here and fully customize your character for sure. Now we do have skin tone, head shape, hair color, a lot of the appearance options that you would expect, but this right here is where it gets really interesting once we dive into the background and traits on offer here. So we have many different traits, but we're going to start out with the ones that are highlighted here. This is your background that you will be choosing first and foremost. We have chef. It says, while the unrefined masses scarf down the chunks by the shipload, you cater to those with a more discerning palate. In your kitchen, countless alien species became true culinary masterpieces. Wow. Also, here are your starting skills as a chef in the world, or the universe, I should say. We have gastronomy. It says you can craft specialty food and drinks and research additional recipes at a research lab. Then we have dueling. All that knife work in the kitchen has helped out a lot, it seems, with melee weapons. So you can do 10% more damage there. But also with wellness, you have immediately gained 30 points. I thought it said pounds there of health. So yeah, it seems like you as a chef would know how to cook some very healthy things. Then we have combat medic, as you could see. So let's see what it says. Zoom it in here for you all. It says, leave it to human beings to fight over something as infinite as outer space. That's where you come in. You've never been afraid to take on the enemy, but you'd much rather take care of your friends. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that sort of twist for combat medic. Then we have this. These are your starting skills as a combat medic. Pistol certification. Pistols do 10% more damage. You are also into medicine, so med packs heal 10% more. I love that. I like to be able to heal fast, have a lot of health, be kind of like a tank. That's how I like to play. Then we have weightlifting, increase total carrying capacity by 10 kilograms. It sounds like, yes, inventory management is going to be a thing as you explore in this game. I just hope it's not too intensive and that you have, of course, time in actual gameplay instead of just being in your inventory all the freaking time. All right, so let's keep going, shall we? Have Cyber Runner. So let's go back to Cyber Runner, shall we? It says this for Cyber Runner. It says from Neon to New Atlantis, the megacorps stand as monuments to power, prestige, and profit. You've worked for both for and against them on the inside and out, often sacrificing conscience for credits. I think some Cyberpunk fans will want to play this role. Now, for the Cyber Runner, we have these starting skills, pistol certification. Of course, you guys are familiar with that, but the new ones are security and persuasion. With security, you have an attempt to hack advanced locks, and 2 auto attempts can be banked. Persuasion gains an increased chance of successful on-speech challenges. So kind of being able to talk to people, getting through the game in that way. Then we have Cyberneticist. Now, it says this for Cyberneticist. It says, robots, mere toys. Neuroamps, good for parlor tricks. The Colony War may have made implants and upgrades available to veterans, but you once saw a greater future, humans and machines as one. So this sounds like kind of a controversial way. It might be controversial in the game. I'm sure some factions will be against this, but we have this one for starting skills. We have medicine. You're familiar with that one. Robotics and lasers are interesting. You deal 10% more damage to robots and turrets. Laser weapons do 10% more damage as well. So it sounds like this is the class that really can get in there and perhaps counter robots, at least in my opinion, from what I'm seeing. Then we have the diplomat as well. So this allows you to walk up to people and really become an expert in conversation and persuade them into what you're thinking, I suppose. But let's get into the details about Diplomat, shall we? It goes on to say, this one right here, it says the following, as you can see. It says, Diplomat, the wars are over, peace now reigns, the settled systems, but only because there are those quietly fighting to keep it. Because of you, agreements were signed, words were headed, lives were spared. Amazing. What about our starting skills, though? We have persuasion, gain an increased chance of success on speech challenges. Diplomacy and bargaining is where it gets interesting. You can force a target NPC at or below your level to stop fighting for a while. And bargaining says buy items for 5% less and sell for 10% more. So if you want to make money, it seems like this is the way to go, of course. But yeah, the facial animations, look at the facial animations. Incredible. Now we got to talk about traits, starting with introvert. These are going to be interesting, and they are optional, by the way. Now, if we zoom this in, it says for introvert, it says you really need your alone time. You have more endurance when adventuring alone, but less when adventuring with other human companions. Cannot be combined, of course, with extrovert. That would not make sense. But if you notice on the right side here for traits, we have something called alien DNA, and we're actually going to revisit backgrounds here in just a moment. So stay tuned for that. But alien DNA has me interested. We have something called empath, extrovert, freestar, collective settler. So a lot of different options there. But let's keep going into the stuff that was showcased on the actual gameplay demonstration. Kid stuff. Let's zoom it in for you all. It says your parents are alive and well, and you could visit them at their home. But 10% of all the money you earn is deducted automatically and actually sent to them. This had me very interested, though, because I'm thinking there might be a payoff to that 10%. I'm curious to see if you visit your parents from time to time, if they will actually reward you over time. That would be a really, really cool gameplay element for sure. Now, these are passing by so quickly, but don't panic. We're going to get into all of them one by one. We have Neon Street Rat, I should say. It says you grew up on the mean streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogue options and better rewards for some missions on Neon. Now, crime bounty by other factions is greatly increased. This cannot be combined with any other faction allegiance trait. So, yeah, this could be something where you can become a bounty hunter or something like that. Very, very curious about Neon Street Rat, and I think a lot of Cyberpunk 2077 fans will want that one. Raised Enlightened, it says you grew up as a member of the Enlightened. Oh, you gain a significant discount at the organization store, but lose access to Sanctum Universum store. Can't be combined with other religion traits. So once you choose a religion, it seems like in this game, you go with it. And what I find fascinating is how you lose access to certain things. Now, we have Serpent's Embrace, which says you grew up worshiping the Great Serpent. Grab Jumping provides a temporary boost to health and endurance, but health and endurance are lowered if you don't continue jumping regularly, like an addiction. And it cannot be combined with any other religion trait, as you can see right there. So yeah, if you're really into jumping around in this game, which we did see that showcase in the gameplay demonstration, perhaps this is going to be something for you, maybe. All right, so let's keep going into a lot of the in-depth traits that you can actually choose, shall we? Look at those options, though, for your character outfit. But yeah, let's keep going. So the next one right here is going to be something called Spaced. It says your body has become acclimated to space. Health and endurance are increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. Can't be combined with terra firma. So if you're going to be a complete space explorer, which I think a lot of us will be, this should, of course, interest you for sure as you go out and venture into space and beyond. But let's keep going, shall we? All right, so next up, we have, what is next? We have this one right here. This one interests me. It's called Starter Home. Get this, you own a small house on a peaceful little moon, but it comes with a 50,000 credit mortgage with Gal Bank. So yeah, it seems like there's actual mortgages in this game. Of course, we do know that there is base building, and it kind of had me wondering, could you actually have rentals or something like that, where you can build more of like a passive income in the game? I'm not going to stretch too much speculation, but it seems like there's some sort of ownership with houses in this game or something like that, which makes a lot of sense, of course. But let's keep going, shall we? So as we go through this list, we also want to go back. I want to go back a little bit here and showcase, of course, some of those backgrounds that you may have missed out on, which are going to be crucial to, of course, influencing the gameplay as you go through your experience in this game. Because we missed out on like Beast Hunter, Bouncer, Bounty Hunter, which gets me extremely curious. Things like Explorer, Gangster, which may match up very well with exploring things like Neon City. Homesteader, Industrialist, Long Hauler, Pilgrim, Professor, and Ronin are all options for your background. Which one sounds the most tempting to you? Sound off for me. I like Cyber Runner, big Cyberpunk fan, but also Bounty Hunter because I like the action, I like getting in the action, doing stuff like that. So that would be very, very cool. Then we have, again, Alien DNA has me extremely curious as to what that exactly is for your trades. Then Empath, Extrovert, of course we went over that. Freestar Collective Settler, we went over kid stuff. Then we have Taskmaster, Terra Firma, United Colonies Native, Unwanted Hero. So different options there as well. So yeah, let me know which one sounds most interesting to you. But we got to talk more about the skills that you can obtain in Starfield and how they actually compare to Skyrim. As you can see, it's separated into physical, social, combat, science, and tech. And we're going to dive into each one of these in depth here, at least the ones that were highlighted in the video very quickly. We have ballistics, which you can see right here. Centuries of conflict have proven that when it comes to threat elimination, few things stack up to the reliable power of combustion. Now, what's cool is there's a rank system, as you can see right here, for each one of these skills. And basically, you have a challenge. This one is completed. It says 250 out of 250. You have to kill 250 enemies with ballistic weapons. And what that does is it currently goes through your ranks. You have to go in and then rank up once you complete those challenges. So it basically encourages you to go in and experience the game. It's like Skyrim. If you were using one-handed swords in Skyrim, your one-handed ability would go up. If you're using magic, destruction would increase. So it has that sort of mentality like Skyrim, which I personally love. If it isn't broke, don't try to fix it. I love that they have included the system in the game. So I'm very, very happy about that one. But we have some other things here as well. We have demolitions, as you can see right here. It says challenge progress. It says kill 125 enemies with explosives. Current rank is 2 out of 4. Unlock explosives do 30% more damage and have 30% larger radius. So if you want to become an explosives expert, this is something that is going to be for you for sure. Next up, we have, of course, heavy weapon certification. Of course, it's going to be for heavy weapons. Gain 30 damage resistance while aiming down sights with a heavy weapon. That's going to be the next rank. And you could kill 250 enemies with a heavy weapon to gain that rank. Then we have rapid reloading. Gain a chance to reload your weapon twice as fast as normal. This is going to help you get back into the action. Then we have sniper certification. Scoped weapons are steadier and have less sway. Only trained sniper truly understands all the elements necessary to patiently and effectively neutralize a target at excessive range. That'd be fun to mess around with, actually. Then we have what is called targeting. It says unlock greatly increased accuracy and range when shooting without aiming. So this is like a hip fire thing if you want that, but we're only looking at the current rank. We're not seeing all the ranks and what they can actually do. So it might be different as you keep going. So some interesting things happening with that system for sure. And if we get into this, we actually see the research laboratory, as I call it, and you can actually go in and looks like do some cool things with pharmacology, food and drink, outpost development, equipment, weaponry, and do some really cool research projects. As you can see, they have projects underway for equipment, outpost, and pharmacology. We have medical treatment 1, performance enhancement 2. So it seems like they take time to actually research. But then you have weaponry. You can get in here and make weapon mods for your barrels, your grip mods, optics. I'd love to see the different optics on offer in this game for sure. But they give some examples right here, as you can clearly see. You can modify, looks like practically any weapon in the game. And then, yes, there is full-blown base building. As you can see, some amazing stuff happening right here. Now, with the UI and menu, it's kind of like, I guess you would say, Fallout 76 base building. Very similar. There's going to be a build limit, so you can't just build infinite. There is going to be an actual limit that you have to consider when doing your base building. And it looks like you could make so many cool different buildings and have people help you out. And also a little robot droid roam around. So curious about that little buddy right there, exactly what he does to help you out with your base and stuff like that. But here we go. the ship has landed. Can you imagine how rewarding it's going to be creating your own ship in Starfield? And it seems like there's going to be endless variety with this. Perhaps we're going to have bounty hunter type ships, also cargo based ships. But you can see how modular it is right here. In the top left corner, we have the reactor and then equipment power. And then there's an assortment of different bars and graphs here that tell us what is going on, from gravity to shield. And then there's some other things that I'm still curious about. We're still trying to figure it out for sure. As you can see with the engine, you have class, engine thrust, maneuvering thrust, engine health, and overall health as well. And it says every spaceship needs engines. Upgrade for increased speed and acceleration makes entire ship will affect performance, or I should say mass of entire ship will affect performance. So yeah, it definitely influences performance. You have to consider that as you add parts. You can see the variety of costs. So everything has a cost in this game. You're going to want to definitely make money, get out there and get resources for sure. Then we have what is called ion beam reactor, and you can see the different reactors, tons of different reactors that can power your ship right here. Then we have the lander wide. So it seems like you can have a lander type system where you can disembark from the ship, perhaps have a vessel within a vessel. That has yet to be 100% confirmed, but I'm hoping that is the case. But look at this. You can even adjust the coloring of your ship and go all in with the details. It is incredible. All right, so we have to take a look at how big Starfield actually is, and it is super impressive, let me tell you what. So yes, they advertise that you can land on this planet here at Jemison and explore the city of New Atlantis, but also you can explore that entire planet, as well as 1,000 plus other planets. Some of them are going to have life. Some of them are going to be barren and rich with resources. It's going to be up to you if that's something you want to actually do, or you could just stay on the main mission path, of course, do the side activities and things like that. It's going to be up to you. And here's Todd Howard showing us even more clips from the game. It looks beautiful, different varieties in the actual areas that we are going to be exploring. So if you aren't interested in exploring barren planets, you don't have to. You could stick to the core experience, which is going to be a wide variety of planets. They're going to have cities on them and caves and things like that. But third person looks great. Like the animation there looks absolutely crazy. And I am stunned by the different types of fauna and environments we are going to be getting here. Look at this. It's an entire forest planet, I guess you would say, with its own life forms, like dinosaur type creatures that roam around these lands. And this kind of reminds me of a little bit of Fallout in here, at least some of the art style. And then we have an oasis looking area in the desert, as you can see. Some of it looks somewhat lonely and barren, but again, it's up to you to explore. And this looks like the Mars rover. So it seems like Mars is going to be explorable. In fact, yes, on the map, it was spotted that our solar system is in the game, that Earth looks like it's going to be explorable. So I'm curious to see what shape Earth is in Starfield. It might be pretty bad, but yeah, just incredible what they are creating right here. And yes, if you're worried again about the game feeling very barren, very bland, it's going to be up to you how you actually play. You don't have to go out there and explore all 1,000 planets. You could stick to the core plot line, the side activities where characters guide you along their different paths and routes. And I'm sure factions are going to have their own stories and missions. Or, hey, if you want to, you can ignore all that and go exploring and gather resources. It's honestly going to be up to you. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Smack that like button if you did. Stay tuned for more Starfield goodness and, of course, open world gaming goodness. But this is by far my most anticipated game right now. I just cannot wait for 2023. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.